Ethan. Hi, guys. Hello. Hello. Sorry. Hi, John. Great, Vasily. Hi, Diane. Hi, Jack. Hi, Bombi. Hi, Last One. Hi, Armin. Hi, Niels. Hi. Hi, Yana. Hi, Ali. Sorry, I forgot to upload a little video to YouTube, and it's on this phone. Well, that's annoying. That's annoying. That's very annoying. But I guess it'll have to do. Hi, Praxis. Hi, Joe. Hi, Yulia. Yes. Hello. Geez. So not a very exciting day today. I woke up and there was a mini little snowstorm outside of my window. Like I kid you not, I do not live when it's cold. I survive. I hate the cold. We were talking about it yesterday and I was like, yeah. And hi, Ian. Don't look at what East Coast weather is like right now. I think I saw, and it's very nice. And you know how yesterday we were talking about how I hate the cold and how I survive in the winter and how the weather in Kyiv has been getting so much nicer and I'm so excited for spring and yada 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 yada. Yeah, so about that. I woke up this morning. I looked outside. I like opened my curtains and I was like, ooh, nice. Yeah, it was snowing, like big snowing. And I was not happy. I also had to go to Meast and pick up a package, which was like a package with Tupperware, because I ordered this like hermetically proof Tupperware type of thing because I didn't have any. And I keep like cooking for myself and having leftovers and I don't have anything to put them in the fridge in. So I keep just like putting my pots in the fridge with the leftovers. And anyways, so I ordered Tupperware. I had to go pick it up from Meast. Meast is not really far. It's 2 blocks away, but it was far in this weather. So it was not fun. I did not like it. I didn't enjoy it. My dogs didn't enjoy it. They went with me. Then I had to run a couple of errands. I had to do grocery shopping. I had to go to a pharmacy. I just had to do a bunch of like, random crap, to be honest. And so I was just running around today in the snow and I didn't like it. Not my thing. And then I came home and I had quite a bit of work to do. I had to, I still have to finish that. I have to answer some questions for a reporter, which I'm excited about. It's about me moving to Ukraine and just generally like Ukrainians moving to Ukraine during the full-scale invasion. I've received, so today actually, if you guys had seen, I posted a video explaining to people who have been asking why I had moved to Ukraine. And the reason why I did that is like, I really didn't know how to post this video and like what to say and anything like that. And then today, Dave DM'd me and he said that he's been enjoying seeing these like bits of my life in Kyiv. Not, like he made sure to point out that of course he loves the political videos and they're more important, but it's nice to sort of see the videos of me just like running around Kyiv and like doing things because they show that I'm a real human and that I enjoy life. And that actually gave me like the it clicked that it clicked that that's exactly what it is. Like I've never posted anything like that in New York because I didn't actually enjoy life. I didn't. I for the past 2 years in New York, I was just living Ukraine in my bedroom through a computer screen. And normally when people ask me why did I move back, I say, well, I just crossed the border and it felt right, right? But that's the thing. It's like it's because I could live. In New York, I've isolated myself from all of my friends. I've isolated myself from doing literally anything. And I've stopped talking to people. I've stopped getting coffee with people. I've stopped going to birthdays. I've started making excuses for not meeting up with my friends because it felt like a burden. And it's not because there is, oh, what's going on? I don't know what's happening with my Wi-Fi lately, but TikTok is like glitching profusely because of that. So yeah, so what's happening? Good evening. Oh, hi Nick. Good to see you. Also, you guys on TikTok, do you hear me? Because I don't feel like it's working. And I don't know why, because my Wi-Fi is supposed to be fine and it isn't, and it's so annoying. Wait, what's going on? So annoying. Cinny, hey, come here. Oh, unable to access live. That's so weird. Yeah, something's going on with, oh, okay. Hi, Lars. Okay, so it looks like TikTok is back. Sorry, I don't know what was happening. Something went wrong. Okay, so basically what ended up happening is I ended up isolating myself from my friends. I stopped going to get coffee with my friends. I stopped showing up to birthdays. I started making up excuses as to why I didn't want to like go to events and stuff like that. And hi, Debbie. And I basically like put myself into this position where I was at home all the time. I would walk my dog. I would like, I don't know, go grocery shopping or like get, like things that I needed and stuff. But I was like not socializing with anyone. I wasn't living really. I didn't have any interest in any activities because I was pretty much living in Ukraine, and living the news through my computer screen in my home all the time. And some days I wouldn't even leave my home because I didn't want to. And the reason for that is that like there's nothing wrong with my friends. They're all fantastic people. It's not like it's their fault that I started sort of like distancing myself. It's because no matter what, when I was going out to see people, there would be scenarios where they're either very careful around me because they don't know how to interact with me, or people would just act like there is no war. People would think that it's just like an exaggeration and so long has passed that no one cared. And it just became like a workout to understand how to maneuver in a social situation. And then I came to Ukraine in August, in end of August, to see my parents, to come here for the first time in 9 years, because as you know, I couldn't travel before that. And I didn't feel that anymore. And it's not like, oh, I haven't seen my friends or my family in a very long time, so I have to go see them. No, it's just like when I was meeting people, the people understood me and the people were going through the same thing. And I didn't have to sort of like think of how to act or what to say or, like not, or pretend like I care about, I don't know, like random things. And it's so bad to say because it's not that I don't care. Like I want my friends to be happy. I don't want them to understand how I'm feeling. I don't want them to go through this ever in my life or in their life, like ever. I don't wish this upon anyone. But it's like when I was sitting in New York in my bedroom, feeling a lot of guilt that I can't be at home and I can't be on the ground and I can't be helping. And I would be like fundraising for soldiers who have like lost their arm or leg or needed, or it was like winter time and they needed and or they needed like gear, or I heard that a friend of mine died at the front, or things like that. And then I would like go out to get coffee with my friends, and they would complain about their jobs, or complain about their boyfriends, or complain about things like that, which is all normal. I'm not diminishing it. Like, these are normal things for someone who's living in a safe environment, in a safe country that isn't experiencing a full scale invasion. It's just that for me, none of these things mattered. And it was making me feel even guiltier for not being in Ukraine. Hey, you two. Cindy, come here. Cindy, hey. Come here, Sin. Stop. Come here, Sin. So basically, when I came here and I started seeing my friends, like none of that was the case, because everyone, oh my God, wait, give me a second. Liv! Jesus Christ. Liv! I will murder you. What the fuck? Stop it. That is so not okay. That's chocolate. You dumbass. Liv! Hey, no. Sorry. Hello. So the point is that, like, everyone is doing the same thing. Everyone is trying to fundraise for the army. Everyone is trying to do humanitarian work. Everyone is trying to volunteer. Everyone is trying to do things that are like helpful, right? So I felt like people understood me, and suddenly going out to get coffee with my friend wasn't like a guilt trip, because my friends normally are not even if they are talking about their relationships for some time, they're also talking about things that like matter and things that help Ukraine. And it's just like, it's different. It's just, I felt understood, and I no longer felt alone. And the reason why I posted that video today is because I realized that the reason why I've been posting these things about like daily chores and like running around Kyiv, first of all, because I want you to see Ukraine, and I'm just posting my days because I'm exploring Kyiv, right? But at the same time, like, it's because I do these things now. The reason why I never posted that in New York is because, like, I would have a hard time figuring out what to even post. Like, I didn't do anything. I literally was at home doing the news and trying to find more opportunities to talk about Ukraine, which I still do here. Which I still do here, right? But I also see friends, and I get coffee, and I go out for dinner, and I go do a pottery class. Also, like, things are more affordable. Like, a pottery class is $20, per person, for 2 hours of pottery, instead of like $150 in New York. So it's, it also allows for like things that I'm able to do things. And also like, when I go with my, it's like, it's weird to say, but like, any time that I do these things with my friends, most of my friends are very socially active, and they volunteer, and they help the army one way or the other. They fundraise, they do all of these things. So it's kind of like, anytime we do see each other, even if we do go to dinner or we do get coffee, we're constantly thinking of new ways to help Ukraine. We're constantly thinking of books that would help, or like videos that would help, or initiatives that we can launch to increase awareness and stuff. So it's it's kind of like that. And that's why I moved to Ukraine, because I don't know, I don't feel alone. I feel understood, and I feel like I'm actually doing much more when I'm here, which is reasonable, I guess. And I feel like I have a great support system, and I have a lot of friends who understand me and do the same things that I do. And that's the thing, it's like, I think that everyone who is in New York, like all of my friends, they're amazing, and their problems do matter. And it's great that they have problems like boyfriends, and and girlfriends, and an annoying boss, and all of these things, right? But these problems to me are just not something that is personally like, that I like. It's important for them, and I do recognize it's important for them. I'm just like, so I don't want to discount anyone's experiences, because obviously, depending on your situation, different things carry different weight and impact. And I fully understand that. It's just that when you are going through like an invasion of your home and every day you hear the news of like a distant friend dying, or, someone being conscripted, or, guys in a trench not having socks and their limbs getting frostbite and stuff like that. I, that's kind of like, it doesn't, and then you sit in like a cute little hipster coffee shop in Brooklyn, and someone tells you that like this dude that they slept with last night is like not texting them or something like that. And you sit there and you're thinking about the fact that you don't know how to raise $5,000 to get gear for guys that are dying at the front. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like we were living in two parallel realities. And again, it is totally okay to be concerned or upset or like feeling all the feels about, a guy or a girl not texting you back, because this is what your life is. And these are the things that are impactful in your circumstances. It's just that for me, it was very difficult to take these things seriously. And I felt like I'm doing a disservice to my friends first and foremost, because I'm like not interested in anything they're going through. And it's not because of them personally. It's because I'm not interested. Like, it's because I'm not interested in anything other than the war, really, and winning the war. So yeah, that's sort of what, oh my gosh, no, cat, like, geez, that's not a bad message. I don't think it's a bad message by any means. But yeah, so that was kind of my motivation. And once I like crossed the border into Ukraine, oh, thank you, DW. Yeah, and once I crossed the border into Ukraine, all of that like went away, because everyone is going through the same thing. And everyone is experiencing war, and everyone is experiencing it in their own way, right? Depending on where you are. But like I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I hope what I've been saying makes sense. I don't know how else to say it. And I don't know if that was like a good enough explanation of how I feel. I also do want to point out that I am really, really not trying to make anyone feel like their problems are worthless or they're not reasonable. They are. Everyone's circumstances call for different things to carry weight and have an impact on their lives, right? It's the same as like when I lived before the war, when I lived in New York, I'd be like upset about certain things. And it's like, there are homeless children, and there are people who lose their entire lives to drugs and stuff. And obviously, like, so my problems compared to that were bullshit. But at the same time, because I'm not in those circumstances, those were my problems. But it's just that like my life took a whole, I wouldn't even call it a 180. I would call it like a 360 x 360 x 360. And then like you land on your head and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Type of turn. And I'm just not the same person anymore. And I think that a lot of the things that I used to care about, a lot of the things that I used to find interesting, how long have I been in New York? 13 years. A lot of the things that I used to find interesting, a lot of the things that mattered to me, a lot of the things that I found like important, a lot of the things that used to bring me joy, a lot of the things that like, I don't know, I did not grow up in Connecticut, and I literally have been to Connecticut only by passing. And no, I grew up in Lviv. Yeah. So that's sort of like, what it is, it's just none of those things are really the same anymore. And it's like, I still, enjoy, I don't know, art and pottery and things like that. But, I think the things that I care most about are here. You're gonna vote absentee ballot. I'm not a citizen, so I'm not a citizen, so I don't vote. I'm a green card holder, so I don't, I can't vote. But if I could, I would for sure. I do vote in Ukraine, though. I vote in Ukrainian elections. You sound very East Coast elite liberal. I don't even know what to make of that, to be honest. I think I sound like a reasonable human being who's just going through a lot of shit. I don't know, who's figuring life out at 29 by restarting it. Anyways, yes, Queen City is here. Education does that in Nebraska and Texas too. Thanks. That's true. Hi, Jason. Good to see you. Best parallel I can think of is close family going through cancer, and none of your friend groups has, or the loss of a child. Unless someone has gone through it, it's not the same, not at all in the same magnitude. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's just like, it's like people sympathize with you, but they can't really empathize with you because, thank you, Chad. It's so nice. Oh my gosh, I wish I had a car. This would be a super nice car. I mean, like, this is a TikTok car, but it looks like a Mercedes or something. But like, I wish I had any type of car. Especially now when the weather is garbage. Again, snowing in March. I'm so tired of March snowstorms. But anyways, so yeah, it's kind of one of those things where people can sympathize with you, but they can't really empathize with you because they don't they're not fans. Okay, can I just like say something? You respond very well to my question. Thank you. Your fans here, they're way too sensitive. They're not sensitive. I think it's just okay. First of all, they're not fans. Second of all, they're not sensitive. It's a lot of the people who come here and ask provocative questions are usually trolls. And want to say things that are actually, like, I don't know, that sound one way but actually mean something else, and they're inadvertently trying to like shit on you. So people are just asking questions because we here are used to trolls. Hey, have you heard the Russian Legion has declared spring offensive in Belgorod? Yes, I did hear that. We're going to talk about it today. I don't put a lot of faith in it because it's Russians, and I don't put faith in Russians at all. But, looking for sources about Russian involvement in Donbass pre-Maidan. What do you mean? Oh my gosh, like Russian involvement in Donbass started way before that. It started in 2003-ish. Well, it started when Putin became president because he started kind of like, oh my gosh. It's really hard to, what's a good source? There is a book by Peter Pomerantsev, and it's called Nothing is True and Everything is Possible or something like that. It's a name kind of like that. You will see it. Just look up Peter Pomerantsev and his books. So he used to work in Russia, and he used to basically work in propaganda. And he explains kind of how all of this started, and how Russia started the brainwashing in Ukraine, and how Russia started infiltrating Ukraine. So there are lots of, like, if you read the book, you can find a lot. You can find a lot of places to go from there, because like I don't even know where to start, to be honest. Like, you got to start in 2003. Yeah, This Is Not Propaganda is good. It's a really good book, but the other one is very good in terms of explaining sort of like how things worked better, I believe. Anyways, I mean, I think that just look up topics and start with, also, like, I have a whole so if you follow me on Instagram, I have a saved category there, like saved stories or highlights, whatever they call them. And in those highlights, I posted stories of people from Donetsk and Luhansk, their witness accounts of what was happening in those cities in 2014, 2013. And I highly advise you read it. Oh, awesome. Thank you. But yeah, also I was responding to something else. Um, where is snow in Kyiv? Yes, snow is in Kyiv. This morning, well, not anymore, not right now, but this morning there was snow in Kyiv. There was it was snowing in Kyiv. I don't drink. This is water. Odd. I probably need to like air out the room. I haven't opened the window in a while. God damn it, my dad is right. Always. And it's so annoying. What was I talking about? Um, what was I talking about before I started answering the thing about Donbass? United 24 has good stuff coming out. Yeah, United 24 is really good. I love working with them. They're fantastic. Also, Volkov also got hammered in Lithuania. Well, I mean, the Russian Legion. No, before that. So before that, I was talking about something. Also, Armin's quote of the day is up. To live in the body of a survivor is to never be able to leave the scene of the crime. I cannot ignore the fact that I live here. Blythe Baird. Survivors need other survivors to heal, learn, and grow. Yeah, so it's kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a war survivor because I wasn't here when the invasion happened, right? But it's like, but it affected me and my family and other things. I mean, it's a lot, it's a very long conversation, and I feel like I've said enough for today. But yeah, I just feel like I feel at home because I am at home, but also because I'm understood here. Um, oh yeah, no one's fans here. We're all, first of all, we're all friends. That's how I see it. Second of all, we're not like, this is such a weird thing to say you're fans. Like, what am I, like Brad Pitt? This is sort of, so I like to think of these lives as a discussion. I don't think of myself as like any type of influencer celebrity type of thing by any means. Like, what the fuck, it's so weird to even read that. But point is, like, I think of this as a discussion, and I know that I'm like the only one talking, but I try to read as many comments as I can so it's actually a conversation, not just like me talking at you. But yeah. uh Definitely more personal and going nuts than being able to answer the news now. And most of us fans. Yeah, community. There we have it. You're out of Ukrainian coffee. You love my lip gloss. It's not a lip gloss. It's actually a lip mask. It's a vegan lip jelly mask from Kinship. And it's actually really, really good. It's called Super Melt, and my lips are really dry, and I always need to have things like that on hand. And I love this one because it really does help. Also, hi Kurt, hi Phoebe. The only fan you have is weird armpit stalker kid, otherwise friends community. Well, I also have like a, okay, I'm not gonna, like, I wouldn't call that's not a fan, but I do have a very strange situation at hand where there's like a person that consistently keeps just like, I don't even know where to go with this, but like, I have a person that seems to not understand, not even hints, but straightforward language, who's very, is making me feel very uncomfortable with their attempts to resurface all the time. But anyways, a dude, yes, it is a dude. How did you guess? How did you guess? But yeah, so we are at a very nice and round number for the fundraiser. We are at $12,830.10. Understand boundaries, you mean? Yes, there is a person who really doesn't understand boundaries. They've crossed all of my boundaries so many times. They've also yelled at me and screamed at me and told me to fuck off multiple times, and blocked and unblocked me, and told me multiple times how much they don't want to be in contact with me, and then would unblock me and contact me again, and block me and unblock me and contact me again. And in the last I think in the last exchange, I had asked them to cease all communication with me because I genuinely think it's insane. Like, I mean, it is like not okay behavior, and they still resurface through other networks as if nothing happened. And the wildest thing is that this person absolutely does not understand how wildly inappropriate their behavior is. Like, genuinely. Like, they think it's a-okay, you know? They think it's like totally fine. It's just like people fight, and it's like, I'm not fighting with anyone. I'm just literally getting yelled at and like talked at, and told all of these like assumptions and these things that have no merit. Then I'm being blocked, then I'm being unblocked, then I'm being blocked, then I'm being unblocked. And then this person acts like none of the shit that they did before happened, and it's okay because they have processed it and they decided they're not angry at me anymore. And I'm like, I don't give a shit if you're not angry at me anymore. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And the fact that you do not understand how incredibly wild your behavior is like, so because I saw this person watching the live yesterday, that's actually the reason why I'm saying this. Because I hope maybe, they would hear this and stop trying to resurface on other platforms from fake accounts, because, like, what the fuck is the point of blocking me to then use sock accounts to still watch me? Just creepy as fuck. So if they are watching, because they were yesterday, please do leave me alone. Yes. Thank you very much. Anyways, we're moving on because they do not deserve any of the attention I've already given them. But hope one day you realize how fucking nuts you're acting. Thank you. Anyways. And that's not a fan. Like, I wouldn't like that is not it at all. It's a person that I know in real life, and it's just a person who is genuinely acting wildly inappropriate and like projects that onto me and gaslights me, and justifies it by the fact that they're upset because I'm somehow making them upset. Yet, I haven't really been communicating with them at all, or expressing any desire to communicate ever since they've started acting like they're entitled to my emotions and decisions in life. So yeah. Yeah, that's thank you, Grumpy. That's exactly what I want. Anyways, our fundraiser is at $12,830.10. And if we could get that to like $13,000 tonight, or $13,100, that will be so swell. If you would like to donate to the fundraiser, it's for 6 DJI Mavic 3 Pro drones for 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. The link to donate is going to appear on YouTube's screen in 3, 2, 1, half, quarter, 1/75th, almost there. Sorry. Oh, there we have it. Ta-da! Also, Grumpy just posted it in the comments again. And if you are on TikTok, Grumpy just posted it on TikTok. And you can also find it on my profile in my link in bio. It's also a super easy link. It's beacons.ai/fundraiser. And all of your donations through Venmo and PayPal are going to be announced on live and added to the total. And the delay is hilarious. Thanks. And yeah. And, happy to entertain with the hilarious delay, because I thought the comment was earlier. So yeah, so that's that. And will I comment on your question if you donate again? I didn't see your question. You don't have to donate for a question to be answered, but I appreciate donations to this cause. I did not see that you asked a question because I have two screens, one here and one on YouTube. So I have to try and split my attention between two different chats. Won't be able to chat because I'm driving home, but hello. Hi Kristen. Crazy cat. Oh my gosh, hello. Oh wow, good to see you. So yes, so there is that. And what's the fundraiser at? John, I'm not telling you. It is not an even number, okay? You don't have to screw it up right now. But it is not an even number, but it does not have a one cent thing. But it is at $12,830.10. Okay, it does not need to be 11 cents. It does not have to be $12,831.11. I mean, it can be. Hi, Michael. $1.01 donation is a fantastic donation, but I know you're not doing. You're doing that to make it uneven. It's a bad faith donation. It could be. It could be. But yeah, let me find. I want to show you guys the video because I want to show you guys a video of a certain video too, actually. And I want to show them to you because this is what we've been, this is what I was asked at the beginning of this stream. And these are the videos from the Legion of Freedom in Russia. Okay. And they are. And the Legion of Freedom in Russia, which is like the legion that fights on the territory of Ukraine, have announced basically them and the Siberian Battalion have stated their mission to free the people of the Kursk and Belgorod regions from the dictatorship of a terrorist organization. The emphasis, oh my God, John just donated $2.01 and said, "You mad, bro?" I'm not mad. Thank you. That is a great donation because it contributes to the fundraiser. $12,832.11. Anywho, so they emphasize their aim to bring freedom from poverty, fear, and dictatorship, offering a future without sanctions, repression, and war. The fighters assert their Russian identity and express their will to recognize the current leadership as illegitimate. To not recognize the current leadership as legitimate. Willie Fresh, I don't hate your name. Their actions include efforts to enable a transition of power. We are Russians just like you. We also have the right to express our will, and our will is not to recognize the bloody dictator as the president of Russia. The Legion is going to the polls. Wait for us, to the polling stations. The appeal of these battalions says, according to former Russian deputy Yapanomaryov, the fighters managed to take control of the border Lazovaya Rudka. A shooting battle is taking place in Tyotkina, Kursk region. So here's the thing. I don't put a lot of faith in Russian people. I mean, it is Freedom of Russia Legion, and these are by far probably the most, the Russians that people can count on the most because they did fight on the territory of Ukraine and they did fight against Russia, even though they're kind of like using, yeah, even though that's the thing. They're using Ukraine as like a training ground, right? They're not fighting for Ukrainian free. Like Nick is right. They're not fighting for Ukrainian freedom, but they're fighting for Russia. A free Russia, as they say, and they say it themselves as well. But I mean, at the same time, it's not like I'm a fan of them. It's not like I'm like, oh, yay, good Russians. But like out of all of the Russians, it's sort of like these people at least are doing something. And if anyone has any chance of making anything happen in Russia, which again, not holding my breath. Not holding my breath for it, but point is that at least that. The enemy of my enemy. Well, see, Michael, that doesn't necessarily work here because Navalnaya is the enemy of my enemy, and I still want her to fuck right off to Russia. Because she, she's not a reasonable person, and she's just a clout chaser. She's literally using her husband's death to solicit donations to her organization while she's buying designer outfits and lives a cushy little lifestyle. Anyways, by the way, thoughts on the Siberian Battalion as opposed to SRL or RDK? So here's the thing, like, I don't care for Russian battalions. I don't necessarily spend a lot of time researching them. They exist, good. When they do something that's actually going to matter, then I'm going to look into it. For now, it's been 2 years and nothing has really happened. So it's like, I'm glad that they're mobilizing somewhat, but also it doesn't seem like they're growing a lot. It doesn't really seem like they're doing that much. Russians, right? Okay. Juju just donated $10, which brings us to $12,842.11. Are Ukrainians crossing to, what do you mean, into Russia? No. Like, to what, to fight in Russia? No. To fight for Russia? No. Ukrainians are not doing that by any means, and Ukrainians will not be doing that by any means. There is literally zero reason for us to do any of it. We're not trying to liberate Russia. We're trying to push Russia back to Russia. Ukrainians are not going to be fighting in Russia for Russia. We have literally zero intention to be doing anything with them, and it's literally not our fight. Like, the fight against Putin is not our fight. The fight against Russia on our territory is our fight. Ponomaryov is opposition who still explains that Surkov is a reasonable figure who should be appealed to by opposition. I mean, listen, again, here is a funny thing. I really don't care if they succeed or they don't succeed, what their sort of like opinion on the future of Russia is. Like, I have literally zero, like, I don't care, right? What I do care about is the fact that these people, if they do start showing up to polling stations and they do start sort of like, and they do start causing some sort of a ruckus in Russia, then that will be incredibly useful for Ukraine, because in the time in which it takes Russian government to respond to that, and that Ukraine can use that to our advantage. So the only reason I care about it, but I will. So what I will do right now is I'm going to put these 3 videos of these legions talking about their plans on the screen, and we're going to watch them together, and then we can discuss it. So I don't have to, bore you with my, with basically just retelling it. So give me a sec. Okay, there we have it. Sorry, this is me on YouTube. Apologies, but alrighty. So this is apparently the Legion crossing into Kursk region. These are tanks. Then this is neat. Oh no, it's still not advancing into Russia. That's my Ukraine. Okay, so give me 1 second. I do know where it is. I did see it here. So, whoa. Oh, wrong. Sorry. Weird. Wait. Okay. 1 sec. Let me try and find, I'm going to do this. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to, oh, sorry. It's covering the voice somewhat. Okay. So, could not understand what you said. Well, I wasn't really saying that much. I was just saying that I'm trying to find the video where this person, where this legion is talking about, let me try and find it. Where this legion is talking, oh, it was TikTok, and I don't think I can actually do that. Actually, you know what? I can download the video. That's what I can do. And I'll show it to you. It was from a fellow creator. So let me find it and download it from TikTok, and I will be able to save video. I will send it to myself, and then I can show it to you on screen. 1 sec. That's a good idea. I forgot that I could do that. The first video, no, it's, I mean, this is them. Grumpy, it's not fake. It's just Russians. It's not fake, it's just Russians. That's sort of what they do. And that's how they communicate with their Russians, with other Russians. Okay, so let me add that. And I'm going to turn this around again so you can see it on TikTok as well. Sorry for all the glare. Wait. Why is this not working out the way that I want it to? 1 sec. I'm trying to like set up this. Okay, cool.
Дорогие сограждане, когда из Белгорода на некогда дружественный Харьков летели кабы, Москва ликовала. Когда приграничные регионы обстреливали в ответ на путинскую политику, Москва молчала. Когда вас забирали мясом на фронт вдали от дома и грузили в автозаки, Москва смеялась. Мы приходим не для того, чтобы убить, стереть, уничтожить или наказать. Мы идем, чтобы освободить вас от нищеты, бедности и страха, освободить от диктатуры террористической организации, захватившей власть. Дать вашим детям нормальное, цивилизованное будущее, без санкций и без репрессий, без выборов, без выбора и без разговоров о важном, но с важными ценностями. И самое главное, без войны. Путин узурпировал власть на 20 лет, и что произошло? Санкции, экономический застой, кровопролитная война, забравшая жизни и здоровье более чем 400 тысяч российских мужчин, убитые политические конкуренты и полная изоляция с мировой арены. А еще красивые дворцы в Геленджике и Новоогарево. А теперь он планирует идти на еще один срок и править до самой своей смерти. Мы не позволим. Мы такие же россияне, как и вы. Мы тоже имеем право на волеизъявление. И наша воля не признавать кровавого диктатора президентом России. Мы сделаем все, чтобы он успел из Новоогарева переехать в Полярный Волк. Мы знаем, как там относятся к местным жителям. Легион идет на выборы. Ждите нас. Честь имею.
All right. Remove. And I shall be back here as well. Let me just do this so I can put you back. Okay, cool. All right. It's kind of like different religions fighting each other. Some are less harmful, and sure, I guess I hope you succeed, but I don't care about any religion and I want them all to leave me alone. Yeah, that's like the thing. It's like I don't care what they do in Russia. Like the only reason I care about this is because if it does work, you know, it'll cause enough ruckus that it'll distract them from Ukraine and blindside them in a way and give Ukraine an ability to potentially give Ukraine an ability to potentially like do things without Russians noticing, because they'll be distracted, to say the least. They'll be distracted. So let's vote with our caliber, said the fighters of the Siberian Battalion to the Russians. We have always said that the criminal dictatorial regime in the Russian Federation cannot be overthrown peacefully. That, at least, they're right about. It can be eliminated only with weapons in hand. This night, we begin to fulfill our promise, the battalion said. Fighting is currently taking place in the border areas of the Belgorod and Kursk regions of the Russian Federation. According to Astra, in the village of Gorkovsky, there is no electricity and communications are interrupted. Aw, sad. I mean, there is usually no electricity and heat in the winter anyway. Have you not seen Russians complaining about it all winter this winter? Representative of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Andriy Yusuf, emphasized that the RDK, the Legion Freedom of Russia, and the Siberian Battalion operate on the territory of the Russian Federation as independent units. They're made up of citizens of the Russian Federation, and after all, they are at home, Yusuf said in a comment to Channel 24. Russia has redefined Nazi away from its meaning as ideologically identical to Hitlerian fascist criminality to mean anyone who doesn't like Russia. How do we disable this kind of info poison? I mean, usually when people call me a Nazi, because they do all the fucking time, like Russian trolls, weird MAGA Americans, I literally, anytime I say anything pro-Ukrainian, I'm just a Nazi, right? I ask them to define what a Nazi is. And I kind of just like, I try to bring them to a point where they understand they're stupid and that it doesn't track. And I understand that normally they just yell at me more. But in reality, their head does start turning. That's the thing. It's like they don't know. But I do define it for them sometimes. I do explain, like, I very often say that for someone to be a Nazi, right, they need to commit acts of Nazism. Like, for instance, when these trolls and, like, MAGA torrents call like Ukrainians or Azov Nazis, right? I'm like, can you tell me of any acts of violence that Azov has committed? Could you name me any act of Nazism that Azov has committed? can you give me any evidence or proof of any wrongdoing by Azov whatsoever? They start talking about 8 years of bombing Donbass. I showed them a picture of Donetsk in 2022, before the Russian world came again. And I wonder, for 8 years, they've been bombing Donbass, and yet Donbass has been pretty fucking fine. So things like that. I mean, I'm sorry for talking like I feel like we were talking about this yesterday. Anytime we try to talk to these people, we try to reason with them academically and in academic language. And we kind of assume that they're able to comprehend what we're saying. They are not. The reason why they voted for Trump and the reason why they're trolls, the reason why they're brainwashed and stuff like that is because they don't. They comprehend the same things as Trump was saying to them in the same language, in the same manner. That's why it worked and that's why it works. So when you talk to them, try to get down to their level. They start understanding you better. When you're cursing at them, when you're talking to them the same way, especially if you tell them that they're too dumb to understand what you're talking about and actually give them a point, they will start to try to defend themselves to prove to you that they're not dumb. And that's when you can actually try and explain things to them, because they will understand what you're saying to them, just so you don't think they're dumb, because they want to prove to you that they're not dumb. So methods like that kind of work, reverse psychology. I know I look condescending or I look irritated when I talk about it. It's just sort of that I can't, I only came to that realization recently, that you need to actually talk to people who are on that level of comprehension in the language they understand. And I'm like, wow, I've wasted so much time actually trying to reason with them. And there is nothing you can reason with. You literally have to yell at them the same way they yell at you. And it has to be a yelling match. And you need to talk to them in the only way they understand how, in the dumbest language you can possibly imagine. Okay. An unknown drone hit the refinery in Orlovska and Lukoil refinery in the Nizhny Novgorod region of the Russian Federation. So, one of the largest refineries in Russia has been shut down. We are talking about Lukoil Nizhny Novgorod Nefteorgsynthez, Nizhnegorod-Nefteorgsynthez in the city of Kstov, which processed about 15 million tons of oil per year, 5% of the total volume of Russia's refining in general. And that's what it looks like right now. I love campfires. Russian campfires are the nicest. This is the type of campfire I love in Russia. Isn't that beautiful? So cozy. So pretty. See, that I would like to see in Russia. Isn't it? Isn't it lovely? The Russian Volunteer Corps publishes new footage from the raid in the Belgorod region. The army of the Kremlin regime is throwing down its weapons before even starting the battle, the military added. That's the video. Oh, Russian trolls are going to be running rampant today. Beautiful Russia of the future, isn't it, Nick? Also, you guys, I would like to point out Nick, because Nick is Nick is Mykola, He's actually Nick, and he's English, and he has been very, 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 very supportive of Ukraine, and he is generally a very nice and a very sweet person. And he has also been very supportive of me as a friend. And recently, there was a situation in which a lot of people had sort of turned their backs and kind of like dismissed me because of a decision that I made. And I spoke to Nick about it, and I explained the decision to him and told him that I would not lose my integrity, and that if push came to shove, I would quit before I would be forced to do that. And he was actually the only person out of that entire circle that did not just dismiss me purely based on that decision. He actually listened to my motivation behind that decision and stayed there. And then push came to shove, and I did quit. And I really appreciate the fact that he was there, because that was very nice. So yeah, this is Nick. Sorry for putting you on the spot. I'm totally not known for doing that. Totally never. Absolutely. I just kind of like, speak my mind, and that's all it is. Anyways. Hi, Tarina. Okay, French President Emmanuel Macron has postponed his long-planned visit to Ukraine due to disagreements with allies on Russia policy, as reported by Politico. According to a French diplomat, Macron intends to take the necessary time for negotiations with allies to ensure that his visit to Ukraine yields tangible results. The diplomat explained that it requires time to finalize various coalitions and their operational commitments to partners before Macron's visit to Kyiv can proceed as planned. Slander, says Nick. Well, Nick also has really good socks. How do I know that? Don't ask. I just know he has good socks. That's all. Aw. And the one in Ariol, another refinery, is also on fire. Again, so many campfires in Russia. What a great way. What a great way to start off spring season. I like it. Look at Russians being reasonable. They're starting off spring with campfires. I like that. So nice. Aw. Love it. Also, as a gentle reminder, the fundraiser for 6 drones for 3rd Separate Assault Brigade is at $12,842.11. If you would like to donate to the fundraiser and you're on YouTube, here's the link where you can find PayPal, Venmo, Revolut, and Monobank. And you can also what can you do? You can find more information about the fundraiser there as well. It's been running for about 2.5 months. And we are so close to our final goal. We are 5 point something drones into 6 drones. So any donations help. $1 helps, $2 help, $3 help, $4 help, $5 help, $50 help, $50,000 help. Liras, euros, anything really. So kronas, zlotys, everything helps. But anyways, there is a PayPal there, and a Venmo, and a Monobank, and a Revolut. And if you donate during the live, obviously your donation will be announced, unless you don't want it to be, and it'll be added to the total, and the total will be announced. And yes, 11 cents. The reason why there is 11 cents is because we have John, who really likes to donate $1.01 specifically, so it would screw up the even numbers. And then there is Travis, who usually donates 99 cents, so he can unscrew the numbers. And that's kind of like, our gist here. If you would like to donate on TikTok, you can go to my profile and click my link in bio, and it'll bring you to the fundraiser, or you can just manually type in the beacons.ai/fundraiser that Grumpy put in the comments. And all of your donations, as I said priorly, are very much appreciated. On Tuesday, the European Commission is expected to present a negotiating framework for Ukraine's accession to the EU, but its approval may take several months, says Politico. European diplomats and officials warned that the agreement of all 27 European capitals, which is necessary for the formal start of negotiations, is unlikely to be possible before the European elections in June, the publication notes. A plane crashed near the city of Ivanovo in Russia. Just such a bad day for Russia today. I mean, the thing is mirrored, but this says, fuck off again. Fuck off to Russia. And I feel like that's exactly what all these problems and all these, inconveniences did today. You're just doing that so that someone neurotic feels compelled to donate just to round up the number. That's exactly what he's doing. That's what he's doing, and it's worked. And I mean, it's a brilliant strategy, but I am neurotic. Like, it pisses me off. You know how much it drives me crazy when I have to read the 11 cents or like 69 cents or like 32 cents part. It drives me nuts. But it is what it is. Okay, well, here is another beautiful campfire about to happen. I think the airplane just couldn't wait and it decided to start the campfire. Oh no, it adds up. Listen, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that like the strategy in this is really about, oh, look at that nice little mushroom, bada boom. Bada boom. So nice. The 69 cents has to be a male donating that. Well, I don't know, Diane. You could be the first female to donate 69 cents. During landing, the engine of the Il-76 aircraft fell off. Aww. It fell in the territory of the cemetery near the village of Bogorodskaya, not far from the airfield. There were 12 people on board. The board is destroyed. Aw. Sad. Again. The Russian Federation officially confirmed the fall of Il-76 and declared 15 dead. They added that the cause of the crash is that a bird got into the engine. See, like everything in Russia always happens naturally. Everything. Refineries get on fire because of the weather. Oil refineries. Entire forests and entire warehouses also burn because of natural causes. Like, nothing in Russia ever happens because of ill will. What a lovely place, honestly. So interesting. Vatican Secretary of State Pietro Parolin commented on the Pope's scandalous words calling on Ukraine to have the courage of a white flag, admitting that the aggressor country should take the first steps for negotiations. By that, does he mean that Russia needs to get the F out of Ukraine? Because if not, then what kind of negotiation? It's so interesting to witness how these people just refuse to say that Russia needs to just get out of Ukraine. And that's peace. That's the start of the negotiations. Russia gets out of Ukraine. Why don't they ever call on Russia to get out of Ukraine? Why do they always tell Ukraine to start talking to Russia? There is a troll on YouTube and it says, "Don't poke the bear, you fools." Don't poke the bear, you fools. Honey, your bear is a panda. Actually, koala. And you know the only thing that koalas have is chlamydia, apparently. Chlamydia, okay? And the reason why it doesn't matter if we poke the bear is because we poke the bear so many times and the bear does nothing. You know why? Because the only thing the bear has is chlamydia. And I mean, it is unfortunate, and it is not pleasant, but chlamydia ain't nuclear weapons, you know? I mean, it is nuclear in some cases. mean, some chlamydia, I suppose, is pretty nuclear, is an unpleasant thing. But no one's scared of your bear. Stop using this argument. Stop using this argument. It stopped working long time ago, mate. Also, as I said, to some people, you have to just start speaking their language so they understand you. So anytime I read comments from like Russian Ivan bots, I imagine they write it like this. Excuse me. Don't poke the bear, you fools. Ukraine is no more. Does that sound like you, Ivan? Yes, Mashbook. He is trying to say that Russia is the bear. Sorry, the bear. What a diluted statement. Also, John just donated another interesting amount that brought it to $12,842.69. He just poked the bear. He poked the bear. I'm bear. I've been poked. The 69 cents situation. Can anyone please fix that? Like, please? Please? Why can't you drink coffee on the street? Because you'll get mugged? I know, John. I read the pun. I read the pun. I read the pun. Thank you. The European Parliament is preparing to sue the European Commission over its decision to unfreeze billions of euros for Hungary late last year. Ooh, things are heating up. An unmanned aerial vehicle. Oh, this is where things are heating up. An unmanned aerial vehicle struck the atmospheric vacuum oil distillation unit, AVT-6, at the Lukoil refinery in Kstova, says Reuters. This means that at least half of the refinery's processing has been stopped. In total, Norsy, Lukoil, Nizhny Novgorod, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Nizhegorod Nafta Orgsintez. Okay, Russia. Processes 15.8 million tons of crude oil per year. Thank you, Arthur. Coming in at 24.80. And then thank you, Chad, for 1031, and that brings us to $12,877.80. Not bad. The first pronunciation was on point. Yes, the first pronunciation was lovely, wasn't it? Which is processes 15.8 million tons of crude oil per year, which is 5.8% of the entire oil refining of the Russian Federation. Aw, sad. 5.8% of the entire oil refining of the Russian Federation. Also, you guys, we're like $122.20 away from 13,000. Do we think we could like possibly bring it there today? Maybe. Potentially. Could be. Maybe. Hi, Liv. For those of you who don't see, I mean, the YouTube people. Hello, Liv. This is Liv. She's camoed. Oh, 1321. 1321. You guys, $12,891.01. You really like the 1 cent, don't you? Oh, and this is puppy number 2 camoing over here. That was me, 1321. I see. 1321. So the 1 cent. Well, $12,891.01. Travis, where are you? Or where art thou? Because Travis is the one who really cannot stand these little These little cent totals. Athletes from the Ukrainian parabiathlon team secured the top spot in the medal tally of the 2024 World Championship. The team amassed a total of 20 awards, 8 gold, 7 silver, and 5 bronze medals, as reported by the Ministry of Youth and Sports of Ukraine. The tournament, 0.60, blaze it like Russian oil depots, John. 68 cents has been donated to the cause, and it is now again at $12,891.69. Also, the YouTube troll is still here, and I love him. Let me put on the best voice for Ivan. Hi, Ivan. My new friend, Russian troll Ivan. He might be not Ivan. He might be like Roman. He might be Vlad. He might be, he might be whatever Russian name. But for me, he's always going to be Ivan. NATO headquarters cost 1 billion. Keep pumping the parasites' pockets, you fools. Excuse me, that needs a couple of punctuation marks. So I'm going to take the liberty to add them so we could at least understand what is being said. Hi, Bruno. Ciao. NATO headquarters cost 1 billion. Keep pumping the parasite pockets, you fools. I added some punctuation. I still am not sure. I'm still not sure what's being said here. I think he says that NATO headquarters were very expensive to build. So, we're idiots for pumping their pockets. But then he forgets that his daddy, Vlad Putin, literally built mansions on top of mansions on top of mansions. And he literally has gold encrusted stuff. Thank you, Tara. So I'm like, I'm confused. I'm confused. Those things cost way more money. Also, like, Putin's like one of the, probably the richest man on the planet, right? And Russians are like proud. They say that themselves. And it's like, do you not understand how he became the richest man on the planet? By like robbing the shit out of you, right? Because it's like, he's the president. His access to becoming the richest man on the planet is literally stealing your taxes and profits and stuff. So you're basically like, yes, our president is the richest man on planet. Okay, he robs us and we're proud. He's richest. We're poorest. We don't have heat. He has palace. Because king deserve palace. We live in poverty and eat shit, but we happy that Daddy Putin has, the best toilet in country. Japanese, imported. Like, okay, cool, dude. NATO headquarters cost billions of dollars, and yet Europeans who are in NATO and, Americans and other countries alike somehow live pretty decently. Putin's mansions cost, I don't even know how much. And you guys cannot even afford heating. Thank you, Tara. Cannot afford heating, plumbing, basic necessities. Like genuinely, when you scroll through lives and you run into a live of a Russian person, more often than not, they will literally have like wallpaper in the back that's tearing off their walls. And I mean, like, all of their apartments and all of their dwellings just like look like you've been teleported to the 1920s. Like it's sad. But think about it. That's an average Russian person's life. Right? Because like TikTok is just pushing you regular people. But those are people with internet. Okay? So those are like the bougier people who can afford things. And that's how they live. And coming from that place of absolute just, impoverished garbage. They sit here and they're like, yeah, NATO headquarter cost $1 billion, you stupid. I sit here in Russia in my nice apartment with no heating, toilet paper on wall because makes me, warmer. And I sit here and I'm like, you fool, haha. Because today, with this comment, I made enough money to buy vodka. Vodka fuels me up. And I feel warmer and nicer. Like, how? Let's be objective. If we compare HDI, GDP, etc., then Ukraine is even lower than Russia, and that's before the war. Just being honest, we can all look it up. Here is the funny thing. GDPs are not necessarily accurate in a way that, like, Russia has a different size of the population per capita. And also, when you look at Russia's GDP, a lot of it is being pumped by Moscow and St. Petersburg because Russia does have a lot of millionaires. You know why? Because they all rob the government. Ukraine doesn't have that. Also, Ukraine is way more densely populated compared to Russia in that way because Russia is massive. And when you look at an average Ukrainian household, and this has been proven literally, and you look at an average Ukrainian village, since 2014, Ukraine has developed a lot. And I say that as someone who moved from Ukraine in 2011. And I moved back. And I can tell you that, no, you're very fucking wrong. Because when I drive through Ukrainian villages and I drive through Ukrainian roads and I drive through highways and I go to Ukrainian restaurants and I look at people and the abilities of people, they're very different than they were back then. No, Ukraine has come a very, very long way. And yeah, maybe in Russia, GDP is much higher than in Ukraine, but what does that do if most of that GDP is being stolen by the politicians and not distributed to people? Because people in Ukraine live way better than people in Russia. And I mean, like, in villages too. Like, Russian soldiers that were coming from villages, because most of them were recruited from villages, they couldn't believe that there were lamp posts in Ukrainian villages. Ukrainians live a very decent life. Ukrainians have heating and plumbing and toilets and sewage and essential sewage and stuff like that. Ukrainians can afford things. I'm not saying everyone is like super rich and wealthy and is doing well, but no, we do not have, when you scroll through lives and you see Ukrainians on the internet, an average person does not live in a fucking shithole. But in Russia, an average person does. And it's because literally nothing is being taken care of. Nothing is being maintained. None of the government services actually work. So it's like, yeah, we have lots of issues with government services too, but they do work. And it's like, people come and maintain our buildings. People come and maintain the insides of the buildings. Also, Ukrainian people want to do that for themselves. They want to make places where they live be nice to live in. Russians don't have that. And it's a both mentality and government problem. So I find it so annoying when people cite GDPs and stuff like that and average salaries and whatnot, because these things don't correspond to reality. Also, when you look at the numbers that Russia puts out there, they also don't correspond with reality. I looked up Russia's Ministry of Health report of how many people in Russia drink more than twice a week. And it was less than 1% of Russians. And I am sorry. Russia has one of the highest numbers for AIDS. And Russia has one of the highest numbers for death from alcohol poisoning. It makes no sense that they would say that less than 1% of Russians drinks more than twice a week. And that's on Russia's official Ministry of Health website. Do you understand that most of these numbers are literally inaccurate because Russia inflates them, right? Or deflates them, depending. So, yeah. Think about that next time you try to cite the GDP. Yeah, you can look it up. You can look it up, and it's going to tell you what you said. Russia's GDP is much higher than Ukraine's. Russia's huge, and all they have is oil. They keep pumping oil, gas, and diamonds. Yeah, their GDP is huge. You know what the issue is? Their GDP is actually concentrated in regions that are not white Russians. It's like Buryatia, Yakutia, Dagestan, all of those regions that Russians consider Untermensch, underhumans. Okay, that's from Hitler's playbook, by the way. They're like not the good Russians. They've only invaded and conquered them and colonized them because they had resources there, you know. And none of these are being put back into the economy. They're being put into the pockets of Russian politicians and Russian oligarchs. So it doesn't matter what Russia's GDP is. Like, what does that do? Have you seen average Russian households outside of Moscow and St. Petersburg? Like, it's actually scary. You can look that up. And it's not, when they show you these like horrendous, atrocious things, it's not like they're picking out the worst and they're putting it out there. No. Like that is the norm, and it's scary. It is really scary because these are not even that bad. Anyways, the European Commission aims to expedite the transfer of profits from frozen Russian assets to Ukraine, prioritizing the purchase of weapons over post-war reconstruction, according to a report by the Financial Times, citing an unpublished draft decision. John, 420. Okay, John just donated $420, making it $12,895.89. Come on, maybe we can at least get to $12,900. If you would like to donate on TikTok, you can go to my profile and click the link in bio. It will bring you to the fundraiser. Well, the fundraiser will be the first link to click underneath my picture. And if you are on YouTube, here is the link right here, or Grumpy or someone will post it in a minute. Hopefully, please do that. And on TikTok, Kat can also post that in the comments, or someone else. No pressure, please. If approved soon, the first tranche could be disbursed as early as July, with a total allocation of 2 to 3 billion euros expected this year and up to 20 billion euros by 2027. Under the proposed plan, 97% of the net profits from frozen Russian assets in the Euroclear Investment Fund would be appropriated to the EU budget. Yesterday, the first car with Russian registration numbers was detained in Lithuania, Delphi reports. This Audi Q7 costs 41,690 euros. Most likely, the car will be confiscated and handed over for the needs of Ukraine. Yeah, Lithuania gave Russians a decent amount of time to either switch their license plates to Lithuanian, or if they're Russian license plates, then they can't stay there. Also, Rachel, thank you so much. $10 and some whatever cents that brought us to $12,906.2. Yes, I did. And I did that because Untermensch is what Hitler referred to as underhumans. And in Russia, that's what non-white Russians are referred to, because in Russia, in Russian language, you have two types of Russian, Ruski and Россиянин. And Россияnin means a person who's a citizen of Russia. And Ruski means white Russian, literally, like white people. And if you're not white and you're in Russia, you have the citizenship, you were born there, it doesn't matter. You're going to be treated as an underhuman because they're racist as hell. And that's what they stand for. Like, they legitimately consider them under Russians. Okay? They're not quite Russian, because they're just a conquered Russian, the Russian kind. That's why I used the word, because that is a similar concept that similar concept to what Hitler used to describe people that were beneath, in his opinion. And for Russians, Russian citizens that are not white are beneath them. Greetings from the UK. According to the BBC, you would not even know there is a war in Ukraine. They're only concerned with another conflict. Well, yeah, BBC moves on pretty quick, but the Telegraph, however, still has the daily Ukraine report. And that's most world media, right? They move on very quick. The media attention span is really short, and unless something very big happens, they could not care less. They're on to the new thing. And that's why it's so hard to exist in this world being a Ukrainian, because we keep trying to continue bringing attention to what's happening here. First time in Ukraine was 2009. I was stunned how gorgeous many shops, restaurants were in terms of great design. Like everyone was an RISD grad. So much fantastic creativity in Ukraine. Oh, thank you. I love that. Friendly reminder that Russia sold Alaska to the USA. And the European Parliament has approved a law criminalizing the circumvention of EU sanctions. New measures will allow confiscation of private Russian assets, the press service of the European Parliament stated. The document was approved by 543 MEPs. To throw that out, Dmitry, honey bunny. First of all, you know how I know you're not a native English speaker and you're likely Russian? Because you're making grammar mistakes that Russians make. You know how I know that? Because I graduated high school in Ukraine, and a lot of my classmates were making a lot of the same mistakes because language structure is similar, right? So here is the thing. It was a really bad move, and that was a really bad move. Just wanted to throw that out there, not throw that out, because you're not trying to throw something in the trash, you're trying to throw it out there. Hi from Brazil. Hello. Why are you saying strange things that are setting a pathway for you to start saying Russian propaganda? I think so much better of Brazil than that. You know, actually, genuinely, I do. Someone I really, really, really care about is Brazilian. Oh, hi, Travis. Oh my gosh, Travis, I have news for you. We are at $12,906.20, and we got to this quasi-even number with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears today. Hi, Yulia. Have you heard that RSF recently started broadcasting alternative Russian TV and radio sat channels to Europe and the European part of Russia? Can that ever have any effect on Russians? Not really. I mean, like, Russians have a lot of like alternative channels, right? Like they have Meduza, they have Dorsht, and like whatever, and all of these like Dorsht was supposedly the best channel, the best Russian channel that was like a liberal and whatnot. The people from Dorsht celebrated the annexation of Crimea. They were also telling people to donate to the Russian army because poor Russian soldiers, you know, they're undersupplied, and those are still our boys, and it's so sad. Like Russians in Europe have access to real news. They have access to real news. The problem is not that they don't have access to real news. The problem is they don't care. In the beginning of the full-scale invasion, oh, Emily, thank you. 2512. Oh, 2512. I love that everyone now is like sending the most randomest amounts. That's actually kind of cute. It's like it's become a tradition. and John at 49 cents, and then Jill at $10. And that brings us to $12,941.81. So here's the thing. Russians have access to information. So in the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Ukrainians actually, from their own pockets, started a campaign where they were hacked into like VK, and it was like a lot of developers and Ukrainian IT guys and girls, and they, with their own money and also with a lot of hacking, started like putting advertisement on VK Oh, Travis. Plus 580, which brings us to $12,947.61. So with their own money, they started buying ads on VK, which is Russian Facebook, and they started showing what was actually happening in Ukraine, the explosions, the dead Russian soldiers, literally everything. And that campaign was so huge that you could see on VK, people would start commenting and being like, is this just my VK glitching? Or is the literally every ad I've seen today and in the past week this? And people would respond in mass that that's all they're seeing too. Like, this campaign had so much reach, so much reach. Do you think Russians gave a fuck? They were complaining that they're seeing dead Russian soldiers and it's annoying. And they were asking if anyone else is seeing it too, because like, oh my God, can we stop? So yeah, no, I don't think that creating these channels is going to help at all, to be fair. Russians don't care. The problem is not that they don't have access to information. The problem is that they truly do not care. Oh, thank you. £2. 2 British pounds is what in dollars? I've already given you more than the US. Oh my gosh, 8 cents, John. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, John. 8 cents. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can someone please scroll back a couple of minutes and tell me what was the last amount that I stated before the 8 cents? Denmark has announced another package of military aid to Ukraine worth $300 million. The package provides for the transfer of Caesar self-propelled artillery systems, self-propelled 120mm mortars, and ammunition to Ukraine. The press service of the Danish Ministry of Defense reports. Oh, also plus $5. So $5.08. Thank you, Dave. That's what I need to add to the latest amount. Can someone please on YouTube scroll back and tell me what it was? Because I've been doing this a lot recently. Plus 256. So 508 plus 256. 1 second. Denmark allocated money for Caesars in cooperation with France and for 155mm artillery shells in cooperation with Estonia and the Czech Republic. This is the 16th military aid package that Denmark will provide to Ukraine to defend against Russian aggression. Thank you, Denmark. Thank you, Denmark. That is so very sweet of Denmark and so good. As a result of the Russian attack, a fire broke out in a high-rise building in Kryvyi Rih. Kryvyi Rih is where it's in Donetsk, and this is where Zelensky is from. Previously, 2 people were killed and there are also injured, reported the head of the regional military administration, Lysak. Привіт, Златплис! Слава Україні! Героям слава! Karto, iki pergales, or there is another one. 1 second, which means the same thing, but one sec. Drauge iki pergales, or drage, or drauge. More than 30 victims have already been admitted to Kryvyi Rih hospitals. Yeah, because of the high-rise attack. Yeah, sorry. Well, am I glitching or are you? 1 second. I could be glitching. Yes, you're right. It is Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. It is Dnipropetrovsk. It is Dnipro. Sorry, but yes, it is from. It is. Well, they're kind of neighbors. They're very much neighbors. They're literally neighboring states. But yes, Kryvyi Rih is where Zelensky is from. White House has announced a new $300 million aid package for Ukraine. The package has been announced by White House spokesperson Jake Sullivan at a press briefing. It includes shells, ammunition for HIMARS, missiles for air defense, and more. The weapons will be provided from U.S. warehouses. This is the first package of military aid to Ukraine from the United States since December last year. The Pentagon expects it to be delivered to the armed forces as soon as possible. The package was funded using the residual funds approved by Congress earlier. Sullivan emphasized that the ammunition will be enough for a short period of time and called on Congress to unblock the aid package for Ukraine. The Czech Republic has found another 200,000 rounds of ammunition for Ukraine. According to Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala, 18 countries, including Canada, Germany, the Netherlands, and Poland, have joined their initiative to purchase ammunition from third countries. I consider this a great success. This is another proof that the Czech Republic is a full-fledged active player in European security policy, and the country can use its advantages, said the Czech Prime Minister. In Kryvyi Rih, the rescue operation ended after a Russian missile attack. Dozens of people were injured, including 3 children. 3 people died. Over 30 people are at a hospital. Ukraine has begun mass production of robotic ground platforms that can be used as kamikazes, turrets, mine clearing, and evacuation platforms. Brave 1 has tested 50-plus complexes at a test site. The robots have successfully demonstrated themselves at the training ground, and in a few months they will be on the battlefield. Hundreds of different platforms will be purchased through United 24. We continue to develop innovations so that the defense forces can purchase them, stated Mikhailo Fedorov, the Minister of Digital Transformation. He's convinced that ground robotic systems will become the next game changer of this war. More than 140 robotic systems are registered on the Brave 1 platform. 96 of them have passed defense expertise, and 14 developments have been codified according to NATO standards. Fighters of the Liberty of Russia Legion, Russian Volunteer Corps, and Siberian Battalion remain in the Kursk and Belgorod regions of Russia and announce a hot night. Volunteer of the Legion Alexei Baranovsky Lutik reported on Ukrainian Pravda. Also, according to him, the Legion's strikes destroyed several units of Russian armored vehicles. The fighter also announced the Legion's involvement in drone strikes on Belgorod. And that's what we're wrapping up on tonight. And let me see something. One sec. Are we tired? What do you mean tired? I am tired. It's 2:20 a.m. Without cost? Can I ask a question without cost? What do you mean? I'm so confused. 12,941.81. Oh, yay! 12,941.81 plus 264 plus 508. We are at $12,949.53. When you speak pure American, do people freak out? What do you mean? Love cup is low? What? I'm so confused. So we are about $50.47 away from 13,000, which would put us 47 cents from Travis. Okay. We are at 12,950. So we are literally $50 away from 13,000. Yes, 13,000, but this fundraiser has been going on for about 2 months. Also, no, I get it, like pure American, but like I don't understand who's supposed to freak out. If you speak perfect English in Ukraine, do people freak out? Oh, yeah, people think I'm American. Like actually when I'm on the phone talking to like my friends in the US or like in English and I'm at the register, they expect me to say like "дякую" or like, "карта" to say I'm paying with card, not cash. And when I speak Ukrainian, they're actually quite confused. We talked about it yesterday, plus 06. $12,950.69. John donated 69 cents and said, "Sorry, Travis." And then Kat donated $1.04. So that brought us to $12,951.73. Odin, can you stop commenting 69 nice? Greetings, Earthlings. Hello. Hi, Jean. I identify as shrapnel. I identify you as a very strange person because you literally keep saying some weird stuff and I literally do not understand what you even mean. $12,969.48 after Skylar's donation. Thank you, Sky. So we are so close to 13,000. We're like what, $30.52 away, $30.52 away. You are Russian. Oh. So you know how there is a random person on TikTok that keeps commenting wild shit that I do not understand? They just said they're Russian. Who would have thought? Anyways, my condolences. Oh yeah. 52 cents from Travis, which brings us to $12,970, and we are $30 away from 13,000. Neymovirno. Tyrannus. Thank you. Yes, of course, the boot lockers fail. Alice, what you talking about? What boot lockers? What languages are spoken officially in Ukraine? Is English in there? Yes, English is the official language of business in Ukraine now. So yes, we even have some movies shown in English, like Poor Things was screened in English. The one that won Emma Stone an Oscar, screened in English. Oh my God! Gary just donated $100, which brings us to $13,070. And that's fantastic. Actually, John just donated $1.07, which after Gary donated $100 generously, evenly, with no cents attached to it, John donated $1.07, and so we're now at $13,071.07. How long have I had the dogs for? This creature, Sinona, 4 years, almost. I've had her since 2020. She's about to turn 4. I got her when she was 4.5 months old. This creature I've had for about, since I've moved to Ukraine. She's a rescue from Bucha. And she is trouble. She's trouble. Lots of trouble. But we love her. But you, little grumps, you little grumpkin, you are trouble. Also, yesterday you guys were asking me about the what's the face? Oh my gosh. I was telling you about the cottage cheese things that are covered in chocolate that I really like, and I've been eating too many of them. These. Do you see what I mean? These. They're divine. This particular brand is divine. They're divine. What's my favorite food? Lately, it's been hummus with carrots and hummus with cucumbers. Like, I'm not even kidding. I also like everything with shrimp. I love lox. I love avocado. I love seaweed salad. I love popcorn. I love cheese popcorn. I don't know. They're like, I have like very weird foods that I really like. I love yogurts, like plain yogurts with honey and like granola. Oh my God. So good. I have like weird, like my favorite foods kind of change. Like the foods that I like always stay stable, but my favorite things kind of change. And they go in phases. Do I put paprika and cayenne in my hummus? I don't like spicy things. Like I like a little bit of spice, but I don't like too spice. Travis, thank you for evening out the number, and we are at $13,072. Am I neurodivergent? As hell, yes. Yeah, that is a yes, dog. I am so ADHD, like so ADHD. It's not even funny. Oh my God, I am like, like there is like the spectrum, right? And I'm like on it. There is like a wide spectrum, and I am just like right there. Like neon light, bright, shining, just like the flashlight there. Like that bright, like that bright. Does hummus belong in a picnic basket? Yes, it does. Hummus belongs everywhere. Honestly, hummus belongs everywhere. Yeah, so ADHD is attention difficulty hyperactivity disorder. So that's the whole point. Sometimes you can't concentrate on something, but then the things that you can concentrate on, you hyper focus on so bad. So it's like, yeah, I do hyper focus a lot. This is how I know a lot about history and geopolitics, because I hyper focus on things. If you're there, then I'm probably a few meters under the middle of the spectrum. I am so like so up there. It is not even funny. Like the thing is that like I've learned kind of how to like focus better on lives, although you can probably tell that when I'm like not reading the news and I'm talking about something and I'm just like telling you about things from like my memory or like whatever, it's so evident that I have ADHD. It's not even funny. The more you watch my lives, the more you see how incredibly ADHD I am, like so ADHD. I'm gonna go put that in the fridge because it's gonna bug me that it's like melting here for no reason. And I think that because today I ended earlier than normal, which I mean 2:30 is not really normal for anyone unless they're me. It is normal for me. I would like to go to bed earlier. Well, I would like to start watching my true crime YouTube which is what I fell asleep to, true crime YouTube. And I would like to wake up tomorrow earlier, maybe potentially, but it's just like, this is the thing. This is how I put my brain to sleep. I put something like in the background and I watch it. And perhaps the whole, oh, thank you, Chad. Thank you so much. It's genuinely good to see you manage it well. Perhaps the whole streaming thing is quite adequate for ADHD brains as long as the audience doesn't mind sidetracks. Oh, sidetracks on top of sidetracks on top of sidetracks. Like genuinely, Tyrannus, like if you had been here for a while, like anyone who has been watching me for a while can tell you my ADHD is so bad. And it's like, you just kind of become used to it at some point. And I also always, I like comment on it. I'm very aware of it. That's the thing. I'm very aware of it. So whenever I go off on a tangent, I know that I'm going off on a tangent. So I'm like, I'll warn people. I also constantly apologize. And I'm like, you will experience this a lot. Hi, Gary. Okay. All right. Bye. Good night, guys. I'm going to go to sleep because I'm going to go off on another tangent and I'm never going to leave. Sidetracks? What sidetracks? Okay. Bye, guys. Good night. Thank you all for listening. See you tomorrow, Chad. See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye. Okay. And now, sidetracks, best tracks. Sometimes. I do